Hello and welcome to another video. In this video we'll talk a little bit about staking and other ways how you can earn passive income with your crypto assets. So let's start with the with Algorand here. So Algorand supports staking natively. So this is part of the tokenomics. They basically give to all the holders just automatically a certain percentage out as staking rewards for just having it. So for just holding it. Alright, so that's the general gist here. So there's also the website algorandexplorer.io/rewards-calculator. You can enter the amount of Algorand you have, and then you can see how much that would be in weekly earnings, monthly earnings. The rewards are basically paid out, so they are accredited like every 8 minutes or something like that, and they're paid out as soon as you make a transaction. So if you want, for example, to pay out your staking rewards, then you can, for example, send a transaction of 0.01 Algorand to yourself. So you would just basically pay the fee for sending the transaction, and then you will automatically be rewarded your staking rewards. So it's a way how you can do it. Right, so you can see here the current annual yield is about 5.7%. This has decreased, so I remember a time when I started that it was about 7.6% or something like that APY. So that this one decreases over time. You can look it up in their tokenomics, so they're very transparent about that. And that's the case, for example, here with Algorand. So basically, for doing nothing, you automatically get staking rewards. It's the same also for example, ADA. With ADA, it's a little bit differently though. There you have to use the Daedalus, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but the Daedalus wallet, and then you can delegate your vote and also get staking rewards. Right, so let's continue. Right, so the important part here to understand is that this is embedded in the system itself. So meaning, like I said, it's part of the tokenomics, part of the blockchain itself. So also very important with Algorand, please use a self-custody wallet, so a non-custodial wallet. Because, for example, if you have your Algorand on Coinbase, there is for example, in many countries it's not even supported. There you won't get yield at all, so you won't receive any staking rewards in most of the countries if you have Algorand on Coinbase. And also, even if your country is supported, right? So you can see here the few countries which are supported. They only support Belgium, France, Slovakia, Spain, UK, and US. Only these countries will get the staking rewards. All the other ones won't. Like I said, and also for those, even if you're eligible, you will get less. So I think they're getting like 1/4 of the staking rewards Coinbase keeps to himself from managing or whatever. So that's why I would highly recommend using a self-custodial wallet. Also, there's an app in the Play Store. It's the Algorand wallet. It's a great place, a great app which you could also use. It's very well designed. It's quite cool. So you can see it here. There's basically the Algorand wallet, you can download it, and it's basically also a soft wallet. Then write down your 12 words, don't lose them, this is your backup key more or less, or your master password, and right. Alright, so let's continue to other assets. So for example, with XRP, can you stake XRP? And the answer there is, well, not staking in the sense of Algorand staking, because XRP does not have a mechanism where the people who have the asset get passive rewards. So we will definitely have some other financial products with Flare Finance, as we know, but not natively with XRP. Meaning that if you want to earn yield or passive income using it, you need to use a borrowing or lending service. So there are multiple financial products with also liquidity pools and stuff like that. I will not go that much into detail, but I wanted to make this first distinction between staking rewards and borrowing and lending, and also having other platforms. So there are basically then again, so this was the first case again with staking, which we already made the case here, again with ADA and Algorand. And also, for example, for XRP, so one service I'm using myself is Nexo. So this is also not, I'm also not hired by them. My channel is way too small to even be paid by them or something like that. But it's just a service I'm using myself. Also, so one more part about the staking, you have to look up the tax implications in your country. So, for example, if the staking rewards, so these would be more like an airdrop, if they have tax implications in your country or not. So you should also more or less figure that out, that you do everything right there. because, for example, in my country, the I don't, so would have to look it up though, but in my country, as far as I'm concerned, there are no tax implications for airdrops, for example. Right. For example, but in the other case, with the lending and borrowing, so like when you're using Nexo, there you would in my country, there you have to pay, obviously, taxes there. Because it's basic, yeah, okay, right. So, yeah, so then we will have to differentiate between two types of more or less financial products. So we've got centralized finance and so-called DeFi, so decentralized finance. So these are the two parts there. So centralized finance, you're basically trusting a company with your assets, basically like a bank or stuff like that. Then always look up the history, always look up the company. You obviously read the white paper because, for example, with Nexo, you're entrusting them with your crypto assets. So you're not in control of your own assets. So as soon as you more or less send your crypto to the address they provide, you get IOUs issued on the system, and you will also get staking rewards, but they're in full control. So you have to make sure that you trust the company. So always check the track record, check the white paper, get all information, find out in which states they are legally bound, check out the headquarters and stuff like that. You have to ensure, for example, that you're certain that, for example, the company you're entrusting your crypto with is not, for example, the Cayman Islands, the headquarters or something like that. Because as you know, for example, anybody could run a company for lending and stuff like that anywhere in the world, because crypto is very fast and convenient, mostly. So make sure with who you're dealing with when you're using centralized finance. Then again, now let's go to DeFi. So with DeFi, there are also many different solutions out there. One thing we'll highlight there is then there you have to trust that the DeFi solution is trustworthy. Also because then you have always to do and trust the source code. So one famous thing would be, for example, Kava. So this would be one platform. Then it's a little bit more complicated there, but also doable. But the main part is I'm not gonna do the research for you. I already came down to my decision that I'm using Nexo, and I'm not entrusting the rest there. So because what I really like about Nexo is that Nexo is paying you the rewards in the currency you're lending. So basically, I'm borrowing XRP and getting more XRP, and that's pretty cool. But that's, like I said, only my opinion there, or at least what I'm doing. You can, so at least in my country, there are monthly terms supported. So it depends on the country. They also support different terms, also flexible ones. But I have my XRP in monthly terms, and each month I can disable it if it should extend or not. And each month I can withdraw the full amount I basically locked up there for lending rewards. Alright, so that's the part there. So then there are multiple DeFi solutions. You really also have to do this research there, since most DeFi solutions pay you out in their own DeFi token. So that's where you have to look up if you liked it or not, or if you then convert the DeFi token into the desired thing. So that's more or less something you have to figure out. I'm just introducing the different ideas here, and yeah, I will highly get into your own research. So I can't more or less tell you what to do. I'm just telling you what I am doing currently and why. So what I will highlight again about Nexo is that it's very, well, it's user friendly, it's nice to use. I like it that it's obviously regulated. It's their headquarters are in Switzerland, so it's quite convenient. So I'm living nearby, so I'm from Austria, as you might have heard the German accent here. And right. Alright, so again, there's Kava, there are multiple solutions, so we would also have to look them all up. So for example, OneChain, I think, they also made a big announcement that they're going to support XRP, so they offer liquidity pools more or less, where you can also get rewards, so you get one token, I think. So again, I didn't look it up that closely, I'm just highlighting here other solutions. And right, so always look up the terms, so how long, if you can just, for example, with liquidity pools, usually you can just enter those and then leave them again, like on the fly more or less, but there are also like terms where you lock your coins up for a certain period, as of a certain time or period, right, so you basically have to look all of that up. I was just, like I said, highlighting the difference between staking, which we hopefully now know that it's part, for example, like I said, with Algorand, it's part of the tokenomics, so no, they're not being paid out by anybody. But for example, with Nexo, they're paid out by the company Nexo. So it's not because XRP has any staking rewards built in. No, they are basically using the borrowed XRP to also give loans, and they have so-called, so in this case, Nexo is doing, as far as I remember, over collateralized loans. So I think the ratio is about 30% or something like that. So you have to, so whatever you add in crypto to your account, you can only lend about 30% of what you've put in. So yeah. Alright, so that's basically it for this video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.